Who would have thought Eryth Sea was right on top of Ricky's village? Dive deep enough, you can reach their tree.
Perhaps you should try.
Might do. Haven't decided yet.
Is something wrong?
Aren't you curious? About why we're going to Prison Island, I mean.
It is not common for Homs to visit this region. You may have good reason, but forgive me. I do not pry into other people's business.
It's definitely bugging her, Shulk.
How dare you, you clown?
It's okay, Melia. We're not strangers anymore.
Well, You're right.
So then you'll listen to our story?
Yes. Tell me why you are here.
Basically, it all started when...
I see. I had heard about the Mechon assault on the lower regions, but did not know the situation was so grave. How lucky we are. Hey, what's that?
Is that?
You are looking at Prison Island.
So that's Prison Island.
Yes. And that is the Imperial capital, Alcamoth.
It's not just me, right? A floating city is a bit weird.
Built with superior defenses in mind.
Incredible. What technology makes this possible?
I do not know, and I've never had the need to.
You don't know? It doesn't freak you out?
You can eat bread without knowing how to bake it. Makes sense to me.
You will need Imperial sanction to enter Prison Island.
Okay.
We will travel to the capital first.
And how do you expect us to get up there? Fly?
There is a transporter up ahead. We can use that.
We've been deep-sea diving. Now we're gonna fly. This place gives me the creeps. I guess we don't have a choice. Right. Onwards to the capital.
Still,
What is it, Dunban?
it's a sight to behold. Those look like anti-Mechon defense systems.
Welcome to Eryth Sea. We are nearly at the top of the Bionis. Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy, and welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles. Last time, we reached the very apex of Frontier Village, Apex Lake, how fitting. Served as our passageway to Eryth Sea. And this time, now that we have arrived, we're going to be heading towards the floating city that Ryan was gawking at just moments ago. But before we do, I want to switch up the party a tiny bit. We had somebody learn a new art while we were questing last time, Dunban specifically. And this is a really interesting art that he's got now, so of course, as always, I want to go over it. And what a co-winky-dink, I said I wouldn't say that again, but somehow people liked that. We have an enemy that we need to fight for an item that'll be important in a little bit, the Eryth Hiln. So how about we run up to that? And Ricky, if you could fire an ether attack at it. Good, okay. Need an ether user for that. And here we go. What I want to do to start this off is throw up an aura, and then run from the battle. Because if an enemy is behind me, I can use Thunder! It forces daze on one enemy that is behind Dunban. It goes in a fan shape behind him. So you will need to either run from battle or be in a fight with multiple enemies to use that art. Not bad, Ricky says. We have a held coin purse, which is actually the item that we needed. We also got a weapon for Dunban. I might be switching up equipment here a little bit later. And I want to fight these enemies for a little while before we go on. Just because I want to get 3 of those items before we move. Also worth noting about that art, if you use Gale Slash and then don't move, your back will be facing towards the enemy. So yet another way that Gale Slash is a very important art for Dunban. While we're fighting these Hilns, I must ask the eternal question, why are its testicles on its face? I think we're pretty much good to keep going. Now, Thunder is a bit of a weird art for me. I don't know if I should recommend it or not. The reason being is that it's technically a good art, The problem is that Dunban's AI is balls with it. I don't know what is it with me and balls here, but either way. Dunban's AI is terrible with it. It will never go out of its way to face away from the enemy to inflict daze, so it won't, like, you know, try to run from battle or anything like that. You'll only get to use it if by coincidence you're facing away from an enemy, so... And even then, it'll still use it even if you don't have an aura up, so it's really, really stupid with it. Only spend AP on it if you're going to be playing as Dunban all the time. Now, we're here at that transporter Melia was telling us about. If you want to know where a transporter is going to take you, just pay attention to that red line. You'll be traveling along it. And I just gotta say, man, just look at that view. Like... I know that I praise the view a lot in just all these different areas that we go to, but when I said we were gonna have imaginative locations, oh god, I was not kidding. There's a disc on the back of the Bionis head, and that's where we are. It filled up with water over time and just became a sea. Not only that, but you saw this is a hovering reef. Yeah, we are on hovering coral reefs that are using ether below these rocks to just stay afloat. It's also imaginative, also pretty, and just, I can never praise it enough. We have yet another Eryth Helm right here, so I suppose we could fight this, no problem. And Turbulent Belmo, I wish your spike attacks were as laughable as your name, but they are not, so I'm running like a coward. That could have gone a lot better. As you can see, it's not aggressive, it's just that I was fighting another enemy near it, and it's got those ... things. Now, while we're on these hovering reefs, Flavelandos looks a lot like those mysterious machines that we saw back in Colony 9 just before the Mechon attack, doesn't it? I just kind of wanted to point that out. These are much stronger than those, level 34. Not really any challenge for us right now, but still. I did want to note that these things are here and just kind of note that they do look similar. Oh, wow, it really does not stand a chance. We have kept it toppled for quite a while. Oh, I didn't have an aura up. Yeah, I'm not the best at remembering that. Speaking of auras on Dunban, I've had quite a few people, like, in the past few videos just being like, God, does he know that auras don't stack or anything like that? He has so many on Dunban. Well, about that. I did know full well that auras cannot stack. You can only use one at a time, and I get a vision just as I'm about to say something, but either way. You can't stack auras, but the problem with Dunban is that when you get him, he has so few offensive arts. In fact, I have every one of his offensive arts equipped right now, and I still have 2 auras left on him. So it wasn't that I didn't know that auras couldn't stack, it's just the fact that he had so many dang auras when we got him that I had no choice but to have 3 auras on him at the same time. I know it was inefficient though, but I didn't feel it was worth bringing attention to until, you know, here when I could actually have different arts on him. So we're on the next hovering reef. Got all kinds of really cool shaped ones too. Like, they're all radically different. None of them are the same either. And it just kind of goes hand in hand with how all these areas are interesting, how you don't really feel like it's the same thing every time. The fact that there's stuff to do. They have huge areas, yet it never feels like there's anything that you know, it doesn't feel like there's any shortage of things to do. I mean, I guess if you wanted to go down there and swim to the non-floating islands, which you can actually do, by the way, I guess that would get a little bit redundant, but I never feel it in this area despite how far we have to travel. It's crazy. Oh, another vision, man. They're just laying it on really thick with the visions here. What do we got this time? It's another whitetail. They both really fluffy. Ricky want to use them as pillows. Man, when something as fluffy as Ricky says that you're fluffy and wants to use you as a pillow, you know that you are pretty dang fluffy. We got a heart-to-heart right here. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of my favorite ones. Charlotte and Ricky Green, yes. That is indeed the one that I am thinking of, but we can't view it quite yet. Now, about that, there's something that I want to mention about our items. Something that I could have technically talked about any time, but I wanted to wait until we had a good collection of items built up, and that is your collectibles. I'm willing to bet that you have tons of these things that are not necessary for quests. And what do you do with collectibles when they are not necessary for quests? Well, you can press A on them and you can give them as presents. I don't want to give away an item I only have 1 of. Let's do 2. Okay. So let's have, Charla give that to, I guess, Ricky. They gained a Heart of Affinity. Now, that's not a full heart, as in, like, a full stage of it, though, but it is something, and if you don't want to battle with a combination of party members, but you still want them to gain affinity anyway, you can do this with your collectibles, and it's a really, really fast way to get your party up, and now that we just have so many dang relationships between these characters, I feel like now, if not a little bit sooner, would have been a good time to talk about it, just because 6 party members, all having relationships with each other, that's quite a bit, and I don't mean, like, romantic. No, I'm not implying, you know, interspecies with a Nopon, but you know what I mean. Now, Ricky liked that one item I gave him, let's give him another one. That made their affinity drop. Yeah, characters will like or dislike specific items, and the way that you figure out if a character will like or dislike an item is through cutscenes or heart-to-hearts. Believe it or not, when a character's like, oh, I don't like this, or oh, I don't like that in a cutscene, or oh, I really like that, they're not just saying that for flavor text. It actually means something in the gameplay. As in, Shulk really likes machines and tinkering with mechanical things. If you give him parts, he might like that a lot, yet I seem to recall Shulk having issues with insects, and he won't really like those quite as much. So pay attention to things like that that you see in cutscenes or in heart-to-hearts or just in conversations in general, because it actually means something. It's not just there for the sake of having flavor text. And I gotta say, that is something that I really like. It adds a lot of variety to things, and it just makes little throwaway lines like that actually mean something. And sometimes, items are worth a particular amount of affinity with some characters. That rubber mantis gave 3 hearts to Ricky. And wouldn't you know it, after gifting enough items, Ricky and Charla have green affinity, meaning we can show it right off the bat. While we were gifting those items, it is now morning. I gotta say, the view is so much prettier during the day. Well, I don't know. The ground and the water is definitely prettier during the day, but I gotta say the sky takes the cake at nighttime, so I'm not really sure. Either way, that heart-to-heart, we have Flowers of Eryth Sea. These flowers smell like passion. Ricky, feel different. Feel passionate. Passionate? Are you feeling alright, Ricky? Ricky love flowers. Okay, I could believe Charla liking flowers. Charla like them too? Flowers tasty, yum yum, no? Oh, you eat them. I like how she face palms with those claws on her hands. Yes, but also give to wifey pawn. It's not on custom. Ricky bring flowers home. Oka hang them on walls. So, there's more to you than food after all. You're a good husband. Ricky not that good a husband. These flowers are such a lovely shade of blue, you know. I think they would suit Melia. How about you pick one for her? It could be a present. Give to Melly? Let's see. She'd be so happy. Charla have good idea. Ricky want to do good for Melly. That girl's got her head screwed on right, but it can't be easy. She's so uptight, I wish she'd let loose once in a while. Ricky think the same. Melly nice bird lady. Hey, why don't I help you? I could look for flowers for you, and I think I know what she'd like. Yay, Ricky picked flowers with Charla. Melly will be happy, happy! Ricky can just fly right there by flapping those hands of his that he's got near his head. It's a really cool little detail, because you don't see other Nopon able to do that, and Ricky's, I guess, forearms, I guess you want to say that? They're bigger than other Nopons, so Ricky's the only one seen to have that ability. Really little cool detail. Ricky is indeed a very special Nopon, and not in the way that you would think. Alright, so how about we head into this transporter and head to that floating city?
Ricky want to be even stronger!
So, that heart-to-heart didn't really seem like it was all that special, but you'll see in the end slate why it's my favorite. Let's head on up here.
Who are these guys?
Are those wings on their head? They must be Hyentia.
Welcome home, Lady Melia.
Lady?
Huh?
Thank you, Captain. These Homs and this Nopon are my guests. See them safely to the guest quarters. Give them anything they need.
As you wish.
What's going on?
I have no idea.
Melia, are you? Melia.
I cannot speak now, but I shall fulfill my promise.
I understand.
I will arrange for an audience with the Emperor. Will you wait?
We won't move an inch. Trust me.
My thanks.
Lady Melia, he says. Shulk, you thinking the same as me?
Whatever her position is here, Melia won't let us down.
I'm sure you're right.
More of these guys.
I must report the Telethia's defeat to His Majesty and request entry to Prison Island. Shulk is depending on me. I must hurry to the audience chamber.
You say the second consort's child survived her ordeal?
Forgive me, First Consort. I, Tyrea, vow to see your orders fulfilled.
Whilst she's in the capital, do not underestimate the lengths to which His Majesty and the child's loathsome goons will go. How, pray tell, will you avoid the guards?
I will do whatever it takes.
Oh, your stupidity bores me.
Your Highness,
Enough of your drivel!
We will have our chance when she stakes her claim to the throne.
Welcome to the Imperial capital of Alcamoth. Seems the Hyantia truly were living at the top of the Bionis this whole time, as Dixon was telling us, and it just goes to show you, all legends are true. I don't mean to lampshade too much, but seriously, this area is not the only visual point of interest, believe it or not. Remember those shields being held by those Hyantia knights? Not kidding, those are unused weapons for Shulk. I'm not sure what they're doing in that section of memory, and they don't even fully work, but yeah, they are in the memory there. Either way, back on track about this area, it's so extravagant and breathtaking. You have these tall pillars as fountains ahead of us, just the overall architecture and shape of this building. It's all very well thought out and just pleasing to look at. We have this mural of the Bionis and Mechonis fighting, as well as some citizens. They seem to be telling us to go report to the Emperor, which is where we were heading anyway. Welcome home, Lady Melia. I'm overjoyed to see that you are safe and sound. So we got them there. This stairway is so cool. Seriously, all stairways should just be curvy like this. They are all so pretty looking. I can never get over them in real life or in games. Welcome back, Lady Melia. We have been eagerly awaiting your safe return. Right, His Majesty awaits you in the audience chamber. Please go and greet him with a smile. Indeed we shall. Despite the big number next to the map, it's not really as far away as it looks. The Hyantia seem to love transporters, and I've learned a new skill. Yeah, I don't really want to go over that quite right now, just because we're so close to where we need to be anyway. Up here in the audience chamber, we can see that the Hyantia have not changed much since ancient times. What do I mean by that? Well, just like those ancient ruins in Zatora Marsh, they are still masters of building really cool-looking stairs. Okay, let's stop kidding around. Let's go up here and see the Emperor.
Melia Antiqua, First Princess, has returned, Your Majesty.
Raise your head.
Your Majesty.
The Telethia rained havoc on countless veteran knights. You triumphed where they could not. I find it difficult to suppress these feelings of pride for you, my kin.
But, Your Majesty, I failed to return with any of the subjects you entrusted to me. My inexperience cost them their lives.
We will grieve for them, but it could not have been avoided. It was their duty and honor to fight beside you. They were all aware of your limits.
Emperor!
Keep those feelings of frustration close to you. It will help you to remember the debt you owe to those that have fallen.
Your Majesty, concerning such debts, there were others who aided me.
The Homs and Nopon that accompanied you to the capital, they have been arrested by Imperial security.
Shulk and his companions?
Yes, for reasons pertaining to the weapon this Shulk possesses.
Shulk's weapon? Do you mean the Monado?
So it is true. If that weapon is truly the Monado, we shall be forced to take action.
Why?
There is a legend, passed down through the generations, of a divine weapon, the Monado. It is said that the Bionis itself bestows the blade upon a chosen one. However, if the chosen one is black of heart, he will cause the destruction of the High Entia.
Among High Entia exist the good and bad alike. Homs and Nopon are no different. If this boy is the chosen one.
The Divine Seer's interrogation will reveal where his allegiances lie.
So you intend to keep them confined?
We must.
Father, I mean, Your Majesty. I assure you, Shulk is of pure heart.
As my successor, you will play a role of great importance. Calm your spirit and be patient.
Dear sister, I can see the Emperor's words have confused you.
Brother.
His Majesty has spoken. He recognizes you as the Crown Princess. You are to be the next ruler of the High Entia.
Me? And not you?
Yes. The Emperor asked for my counsel, and I told him as I tell you now. You will make a fine Empress. There is no one more suited to leading our people. You proved that when you dispatched the Telethia.
I don't know what to...
Melia.
But the soldiers? I am not fit to rule. I should visit their families and beg for pardon.
Melia, you know that this is not allowed.
I know. But it does nothing for the guilt I feel.
It is as the Emperor said. Grieve their departing, and engrave in your heart their great deeds.
I will.
You are right to question these things, but take pride in who you are. The Emperor has chosen wisely in you, Melia.
I am to be Crown Princess.
Yes, you are. The Ministries of Research and Records are united in support of His Majesty's decision. I, Minister Lorithia, have no objection to your appointment.
I understand.
I would never openly question our Divine Emperor. But the wielder of the Monado, the Chosen One, might be a useful tool.
You think so too?
Yes, but a lowly servant of the realm such as myself could never question His Majesty. However, if the Divine Seer were to intervene...
The Seer could free Shulk.
They should be exchanging words as we speak.